Hello, everybody. My name is Joe Valen. I'm with Vitruvi Software and recently became a member of FBA. And I'd love to kind of talk you through some of the decisions that led us to joining FBA, some of the benefits, and how you can grow in the industry with FBA. So the reason I joined FBA is threefold. Um, First off, their advocacy for fiber broadband networks in Washington, D.C. is unmatched. Um, the fact that there's children that don't have access to broadband to get education gets me fired up. I am passionate about that, and it's just hard to fathom. But FBA is there actively organizing and fighting for fiber broadband growth. Instead of just being a voice and having, this passion that I do carry, I see FBA's action and involvement in Washington, D.C. actually making a change. So they're turning their passion into action, and that's also enabling me to do that. So that's reason number one of joining FBA for me. Reason number two is education. And this is kind of twofold. The first is that I've been within the industry for 10 years now, and I feel like I've got a unique experience, kind of a holistic experience that I can share with others in the industry. And currently, there's such a demand for talent and for workforce, and being able to educate and train them. So I want to do my part and try to give back. And secondly, and more importantly, with the education bit, is that I am learning a ton by being a part of FBA. My 10 years of experience is squash compared to some of these experts that I am learning from. There are members that I'm working with that have been in the fiber to the home industry since the 80s. Some of them have created fiber to the home patents and created the very first fiber fundamental training programs. It's fantastic, and it's a unique experience to be able to learn from some of the godfathers and founders of fiber broadband. All right, now my third reason here for joining FBA is the networking. It's just fantastic. There's other platforms like maybe a LinkedIn or whatnot, but with FBA, you get such a specific network of experts and influencers to work with. Um, and you're also exposed to so many different roles and organizations within our industry, from manufacturers to policymakers and of course ISPs. So those are the kind of the three reasons that led me to FBA. So strong advocacy in Washington, D.C., the education, and the networking to grow. Now, as far as being a member, I've only been here less than a year, so my experience here is relatively green. And that's why, why I joined FBA is still very fresh and passionate with me. But so far, the benefits of joining FBA have definitely exceeded my expectations, especially with that ability to really network and learn from those that I'm on a board with. All right, so my company, how we benefit from being in FBA, what I've kind of unraveled in our brief tenure is that we get opportunities to host webinars, which is very powerful. We have access to a large captive FBA audience, and it really presents an opportunity for us to provide value to ISPs building out networks and bring forth our expertise to industry peers, which also means providing maybe a manufacturer extra tool in their bag of presenting our company's benefits. In my brief time at FBA, I've been really lucky to have joined the education subcommittee. As I've mentioned before, I think I've said education 7 or 8 times now, but my passion is in educating others, and the industry needs that organization and help. Currently the FBA, when I joined, welcomed me to the subcommittee, and they've been working very hard on a certified fiber to the home professional exam. And I was able to help and jump in and refresh some questions to keep the certification relevant, as our industry is always changing and evolving. So that's been very powerful to contribute to that, and also learning standards and the history of standards from some of these experts that are also on the education subcommittee. So very grateful for that involvement with FBA, and it's been a welcoming experience as well. So within that subcommittee, there's a whole host of characters. As I've alluded to earlier, is some of these guys have and gals have been in the industry since the 80s, really at the cutting edge of fiber to the home. So being able to hear from some of the people that were involved with the development of the LC connector, that's really cool for me to learn about how it evolved and the standards associated with it. Very powerful. So some of the other members in there that I've worked with, we've got consultants, we've got designers, engineers that work at ISPs, we've got manufacturers that are in the testing and splicing manufacturing game. We've got general managers from the ISP, founders of training organizations, connectivity manufacturers, pretty big depth of variety. So being exposed to all these different roles, working with these people who are just industry experts, has really impacted me in my very short tenure here at FBA already. I would say the biggest thing right now is the challenge FBA has presented me of, I've got this passion and let's turn this into action. Let's do something. FBA has definitely given me that platform to start to contribute and give back to the industry. So some of the networking opportunities that are coming up that I'm very excited about is with the FBA's trade show. Being able to finally connect with people in a post-COVID environment is going to be very fun, and look forward to building some more powerful connections. If anybody has ever got any questions about the Fiber Broadband Association, I'd be very happy to share my perspective as a new member. Looking forward to grow with Fiber Broadband Association and their efforts in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.